Yao Ming became such an icon that he outnumbered Shaq in fan voting for the All-Star game in 2003, the same Shaq who was coming off back-to-back finals MVPs. Yao didn't enjoy a very long career in the NBA, but for the 8 seasons he did, he became one of the most polarizing athletes of all time. He was among the leaders in jersey sales every year, sold out opposing arenas with his unique human aura, and helped modernize the NBA on a global scale. Here's the story of Yao Ming's NBA career. If you're the only NBA player who gave even Shaq trouble on the low block, you need to be celebrated. When Shaq said,
Wang Zhu, whatever your name is, you want some of Shaq food? Come get it.
And later faced criticism for what many called a racist statement, Yao kept the receipt for the time they would meet in an NBA game. In 2003, Shaq and Yao got the opportunity to go head-to-head, and Yao came out firing. In under 3 minutes of action, Yao, with fire in his eyes, blocked not one, not two, but all 3 of Shaq's shot attempts, and he rejected those shots like, okay, next.
So many big names and big fellas in the building. Ming, the second block on O'Neal.
In case Shaq wasn't up to speed with Yao's dual threat game, he came back on the other end and hit 3 of his 4 shots in the face of Shaq.
Good job slowing down the big man. Yao, first touch.
For the first time in Shaq's career, he looked helpless, configured, and flat out soft against his opponent. Years later, Shaq said,
"First guy that blocked my shot 3 times in a row. So he's definitely the first guy I had to change how I played against him. And he's also the first guy to get it, turn around, look me right in the face, and just shoot right over me."
It's safe to say that Yao gained Shaq's respect over the years the two giants clashed one-on-one. The entire NBA was beginning to fear Yao. How on earth was this dude able to shoot, pass, and run at his gigantic 7'6" frame? He was a specimen on the court unlike any other the game has even remotely seen. In his rookie campaign, Yao put together a solid season, averaging 14 points and 8 rebounds. Nothing flashy, but he still received an all-star nod because of how popular he made the NBA in China, among many countries. Come his second season, Yao looked closely like the superstar he was so destined to become. This time, his averages jumped to 18 and 9, along with 2 blocked shots per game. Perhaps the most encouraging thing for the Houston Rockets was that Yao stayed remarkably durable in his first few seasons in the league. For such a large human being and for being as athletically gifted he was, it was rare seeing him consistently available. In his early years, Yao and the Rockets weren't a very good team. They hovered around the 40-win mark for several seasons as they searched for some pieces to help fill out a contending roster. While Yao was still young and evolving his dominant game, the Rockets finally managed to move some pieces around to bring the 7-foot Chinese baller a worthy sidekick. That sidekick was one of the most explosive scorers ever. Yep, Tracy McGrady. The trade that brought T-Mac to Houston saw the departure of Yao's good friend Steve Francis. But Yao was happy. Maybe now Yao would get his opportunity to showcase his game on some of the biggest stages with the help of T-Mac, who himself was coming off back-to-back scoring titles. But that's not exactly what happened, at least not right away. The 05-06 new-look Rockets with Yao and T-Mac at the head of the snake went an awful 34 for 48 and somehow finished second to last in total offensive rating. What concerned the team even more is that their once supremely durable superstar only played 57 games during that forgettable year. In December of that season, Yao underwent surgery to repair his left big toe that would effectively shut him down. But that's just one season, right? In 2006, H-Town finally put together the best regular season since 1997, finishing with a worthy 52 wins and a spot in the postseason. During that year, Yao absolutely dominated when he was actually on the court. He was putting together his best season yet, posting a superstar quality 25 points per game on an ultra efficient 52% from the floor. He also added 9 boards and 2 blocks, earning him and his running mate, T-Mac, all NBA second team honors. It was the first time in franchise history that 2 players made an all NBA team in the same season. With both Houston superstars averaging 25 points each and creating the powerful on-court connection they did, they gave fans a new age Kobe Shaq vibe. That's how good they looked that year. But unfortunately, Yao missed the vast majority of the season with a broken bone in his foot. It started to become evident that the skilled big man was becoming increasingly injury prone, a hugely scary sign for Houston. The Rockets without Yao and T-Mac were bested in 6 games in the first round. The 07-08 Rockets teams will go down as one of the most recognizable teams of all time. Although they didn't break the all-time wins record in the regular season, and not even came remotely close, they managed to turn around what was becoming a shockingly bad season. The 07-08 Rockets brought back much of the same players from the 52-win team from a season ago and had firm expectations to improve and make a deeper playoff run. After an unlikely 24-20 start, the unsung Rockets took off with 22 consecutive wins and finished the year with 55 wins, just 2 wins shy of the conference-leading LA Lakers. This year, the team looked vastly different from a performance standpoint than they did a year ago. Yao was still Yao. He finished the year with yet another All-Star selection and earned All-NBA honors again, which is exactly why this year was so frustrating for Rockets fans. After Yao's brilliance led Houston to a league-best 12 straight wins in the end of January into February, it was announced that Yao would undergo season-ending surgery due to a stress fracture in his foot. Yet again, Yao was devastated with another low body injury that was beginning to take a massive toll on his ability to play basketball at a high level. The surging Rockets were clicking so well, even without T-Mac, who missed significant parts of that season with his own serious injury battles. However, the team did finish the year out strong, but T-Mac and the short-handed Rockets lost again in the first round to the Utah Jazz. This would now mark the 4th major injury in just 2 years for Yao. Just a devastating turn of events for Yao, who, again, proved to be so durable and consistent in his first few seasons. What horrified fans even more is when team doctor Tom Clanton said it's not an injury we feel he can play with, when he was asked about Yao's future with the team. The surgery Yao had placed several screws across the bone in his foot. Yeah, I don't know how anyone could play at a high level with screws in their foot. Come 08-09, Yao played in more than 75 games for the first time since 04. It was a good sign, but then again, Yao didn't look quite like the Yao we saw from previous seasons. Yao's numbers dropped across the board. He was playing significantly fewer minutes and averaged fewer than 20 points per game for the first time since 2004. The injury-ravaged T-Mac played in only 35 games and began looking like a far cry from his spectacular former self. Still, with a productive Yao, the Rockets went 21-8 without T-Mac and earned another trip to the playoffs after an impressive 53-win season. The Rockets were a respectable ball club, but no one thought of them as serious contenders. They were, however, finally able to overcome their first-round demons, outlasting the Trailblazers in 6 games in the first round. In Game 3 in the second round against the eventual champion LA Lakers, the injury gods struck Yao again, and again, it was his foot. Sadly, Yao broke his foot in Game 3 that would not only cause him to miss the rest of the postseason, but the rest of the entire next season. What a heartbreak. What if Yao stayed healthy? What if they took down the Lakers and made it to the championship? Even though it was a lost season at that point, Yao deserves high, and I mean high marks, for leading those Rockets to the playoffs without a second star and up against a powerhouse Lakers team. Injuries hit Yao fast and hard, but they weren't done coming. In December of 2010, after missing the entire previous season, Yao suffered yet another stress fracture in his left foot. The injury shut down his season and exhausted his career. In the summer of 2011, and following another surgery to his foot, Yao, realizing enough was enough, decided he couldn't endure any more stress from rehab and recovery. Yao would never grace the NBA hardwood again. The basketball icon was forced to call it a career in 2011 at just 30 years old.
9 years ago, I come to Houston as a young, tall, skinny player. And the entire city and the team changed me to a grown man. Not only a basketball player, and also, again, my first daughter over there. I feel also I'm like a Houstonian, and I will always be with you. Thank you.
It's fascinating how 2 of the biggest stars in Rockets history simultaneously suffered injuries that derailed their careers in the heart of their primes. Yao Ming, despite the ransom of injuries, made the All-Star game all 8 years he played for the NBA, and more prominently, left behind an iconic legacy. A guy who had Hakeem's footwork, Duncan's mid-range game, a smooth jumper, and shot 88% from the stripe. What's the likelihood of another player coming around that gifted? It didn't end the way we wanted, but was still an awesome career for the 2016 Hall of Fame inductee. Like many other great players with strikingly short careers, we're just left pondering, what if Yao stayed healthy?